Honorable Mesa, one of the issues Alex Mould raised here, and it's if the whole idea and it's pressure away currency through this policy be year free he doesn't see it because the dollar receipt are not about Bank of Ghana every year no just a matter of prioritizing. Is the Bank of Ghana him say you be here $400 million every month out of dollar receipt just pick that money and give it. Mem call funding futum from now mama because we scanning free baby. It looks very simple, no?
Especially coming from who occupy positions of authority. Will make statements be and really
94.7.
In the first place, policy it's Alex Mould, my brother Payne, when the conversation began, bastardized it, said all sorts of things. Essentially, will create impression be there on your Juma. Sabi policy implementation be as on your event or a process. Back January no moon first consignment test run bay. No one some no start the eka now subsequently subsequent volumes aba in an expectation near there by end March now yet me achieve the 50% objective NPA was set to achieve under the program. Now question I'm better maybe sir Munia Alex ni there say Bank of Ghana or reserves in be or Jenko will not be having this conversation at all in the first place. So Bank of Ghana or reserves, forex reserves ebia oboko bia ubeni bia mana nka wanye auction on a practically a daily basis. One farm man of over here $1. And see to suggest there Bank of Ghana should just make an allocation of $400 million per month to meet yen oil imports. No, presupposes that dollars no, but is there?
But he showed why you free the dollars no.
Or he showed it
there.
In what way?
Say small scale miners what on one gold gold no dollars a winyan or then over Bank of Ghana.
Oh yeah, then now over Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana won't have a need for dollar at all. There's a difference between expectation and reality. Obi debi ayeti. If you data na some countries publish volumes of gold that we import from Ghana. Bank of Ghana won't proceed from remittances from gold. Or you commensurate that?
No. So fix that problem.
But how do you fix that? But of course, fixing the problem includes buying the dollar in country, in city, and then you have control over it. Anna, and just so that unlimited supply sources of petroleum products, you then develop either a barter direct or monetize the gold to buy the petroleum product. How is it different?
Also, or an attempt for some individuals to control the export of gold and the importation of finished products, fuel.
How?
Because then, say Bank of Ghana Nankasa only Bank of Ghana is not set up to trade gold.
Sure.
That's his argument. I'm only repeating what he said.
That will be our senior journalist.
No, not bad.
Let nobody come and say,
I promise
just for the sake of
I'll get reactions from government. His point is
Bank of Ghana.
The Bank of Ghana will definitely.
Okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
Bank of Ghana Amendment Act 2016.
Yes.
At 918.
FM 94.7.
Section 3 or set object of the central bank. Or say 3.1. I'm reading now. The primary objective of the bank is to maintain stability in the general level of prices in Ghana. Eco section 50 also transaction in assets of international value. 51. The Bank of Ghana may 1D.
Yes.
Import, export, refine, hold, sell, transfer or otherwise deal in gold, gold coins and bullion and any other precious metals as determined by the board. In this open better studio no catch out there. Bank of Ghana is not set up to deal in gold. What does the person mean? Maybe some.
But say
oh,
no.
I've read the law.
Lawyer member.
Inti Mrebo. How na host me?
Yes.
Inti maybe so there's obi better studio no catch out that Bank of Ghana is not set up to deal in gold. What does the person mean?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, say the two options available in one ankasa one document
and
our
question of
no
options.
Meba. There is one option that will be use a broker.
Okay.
Then broker will definitely not be the Bank of Ghana. It will be a private person doing that. No?
Okay. So the bank that accession.
No, you've read from the act.
Maybe so. Let's be clear so that I want to what say and conversation between them now.
Yes.
Yeah, the bank come back. Inti edge there. That accession, the Bank of Ghana is not mandated to do the activity that it is doing in Agazan Ghana is not born out by the law.
FM 94.7.
It's not born out by the law.
Yes.
Now, question is this: how does Bank of Ghana sell gold?
Gold.
Although use
And it's
existing
intermediate.
mechanisms.
Okay.
Although hold gold purchase account, it has to be registered in some refinery and all those kinds of things. Now, question is whether they have the capacity to do it, and if they don't, can they engage a service provider to do it on their behalf? It's a simple matter. Because Matthew, people use words like middleman, all to
Asempa
generate some
FM
negativity.
94.7.
But I wish you luck, kakra. Why from cry to the bar be down here and do a yeta? Oh, I'm praying for you. Because in every commercial transaction, intermediaries PO. In fact, Bank of Ghana and Ankasampono, it plays a financial intermediary role. Same with banks. But from bank. Na Bank of Ghana is from the central bank. Na billions way Juma from brokers. But they are all middlemen. So really, Obi here, they need now. I will deal with it. But I can assure you, Noji, you need to find out right from the very beginning that it's all much ado about net.
They didn't all
They didn't need as much ado about nothing. Osande, the design of the program no say oko the model oko
Asempa FM
na Ghana fo
94.7.
when you know fason by way of a check on the forex fluctuation. No, or the stability be bar. One to me find your politics. It's when we did it. That's all. Ghana for benefiter potentially will be one pair because I better politics. I better not to hear the go for the that possibility ceases. Into by all means raise the hell when in substance there's no issue. There's absolutely none. No matter what's so no parliament. Nah. Obi. Bank of Ghana
Asempa FM 94.7.
set up by law. One functions in there. And one will receive foreign proceeds. Nah. from remittances from export of raw materials, which ordinarily say nyada yawo retention agreements be with especially in large scale players or
companies
extractive industry.
Okay.
Because oil and gas also need
extractive. Sure.
Na say export ni na or export ni na need na odo Ghana. They would have sufficient amount of import cover to meet yen import bill. But that process ni na no, because of these agreements, they don't come.
Yeah.
And the proceeds from Euro bonds, cocoa receipts, loan disbursements, grants. No can $190 a Ghana year end. And that's what Bank of Ghana manages to fund the imports.
Yeah, but in the agreement we sign with these multinational companies, say there at least they can repatriate some, and some will still have to come around 40%. But that's huge.
No, but does it all come? In fact, the 40% to suddenly it's not even up to 40%. But let's just say that your if all of it comes out, Bank of Ghana will not be in the situation that it is in today. Anna.
But if it doesn't come, why doesn't it come? Now, why don't we solve that?
Moba. And of course, small scale, where you don't have too much of a control.
Asempa FM.
And wherever it has to end up. And see, to deal with the issue, Bank of Ghana and of course, Lands and Natural Resource, employing the powers under the Minerals and Mining Act, have provided some avenue, or empower PMMC to buy the gold in country. How is that different? So the Bank of Ghana can then monetize it or do a direct swap. Really, Obi?
And because of the ultimate aim there, eventually the fuel price at the pump be boom through this policy. Question has been asked there, say PMMC return from local small scale miners now. What on at Ahin, and how competitive would that price be for the local small scale miners to have confidence in this policy to sell their gold to PMMC
Obi,
and not smuggle it?
So far, minya complaints be the local small scale and artisanal miners will complain the Bank of Ghana rate at PMMC water on your competitive. Maybe better here I can letter press statement of teachers are once you are on call.
Yeah.
Will complain.
Yeah.
And can be the dado. Our minimum we are. And can So what it tells you is that
Asempa FM.
they are buying their gold in country at a competitive rate. In fact, minimum they will use Bloomberg reference rate.
Okay.
Now also talk about it too. Same one
From
that
the local market.
Precisely. Yes.
In cities.
In cities. So really, Obi, yeah, that grant interview to colleague George Wiafi.
George Wiafi, yes. Joy Business.
And I must say, yes, strip policy na to its bare minimum. And when you what really it is, whether I wonder what can one some no one intent or altruistic, and now you're juniper. No, was there can some another that I'm most suspect a minimum or yeah regular chaskele politics now here. Because two things. You import petroleum products, bust, and bust one mandate to her. Yeah, but do we import petroleum products. Every day, we check one stocks.
FM 94.7.
Movement, wash out the petrol be, and washing within the next 2 weeks. So, but to us on commodity, now I import through their regular channels to bring either petrol or diesel. in. So what's about? We establish LC. I will hear dollar with it to your account.
Yes.
Right? That activity no one get the approval or be out. Because that's what they have been
They are set up to do.
Now we hear dollar. Now what I got to? Wako Bank of Ghana, Bank of Ghana media mo ni biano. Odo wako forex market outside Bank of Ghana.
Yes.
In fact, in some cases even to black market to go and look for the dollar. Now, by the time we open your dollar no go to your one, petrol is what on in city. Into how to get their dollar to buy the petrol. I won't come back out. Send the dollar no 10 Ghana cedi. What on the petrol no man now 15 Ghana cedi to the dollar for a 2-week period. Hoping that by that time now what turn commodity in our market no. Into we got a dollar for now they can import for petrol products in Bima. One come back out. Ozanda say what a dollar on the 10, what the commodity about in the 10. Now what on the 10 in the also. Now by the time Obasano Sidi no way do 12 and now 13 and now 14. What it means is that one to minya the same amount of dollar what the top original commodity no one go to the same.
Yes.
So they do forward pricing. And see at all times Biano there is a differential of about 4-5 cedis more that we are paying. Just so that say Sikano when two when Gina stable no do now why then when you be what I got to Bank of Ghana in dollar in now for more. And see that's why they do that forward pricing. And see this program is taking out the element of dollar requirement. Into what got to petrol or the bar. 1 ton the 10 the mammy now me and got on the 10 me save of organizers now. So really what's the issue?
But quite apart from what this policy will bring in, the target is to reach 50%. What it means that still 50% be or the BDCs will still have to bring
precisely
them in. On dollars nefe.
Of course, in the Bank of Ghana then has only 50% of
the market to
deal with. Obi, I mean also yenim there dollar or your forces of demand and supply no more cost. If through this policy, it may take away 50% of the demand, not for all dollars, but demand for petroleum product importation by 50%. What does that mean? It takes off some pressure from dollar to keep it stable. Until be able to Bibia, don't become important. Would then not price it at 16 cedis? Give or take, on the 12 po, just to accommodate any potential slight shifter. That still is a saving of 3-4 cedi for the Ghanaian consumer. Aba bon no what am I Obi. Abra bon. But Obi nya be me daw.
Because one there no.
One to my friend politics.
No, they've raised issues about transparency. For example, say your name a broker. How is that broker selected? Who knows? How did people apply?
Bank of Ghana, how many accounts we are Zima? Maybe so awesome.
Me too.
Bank of Ghana, you know the number of accounts that they have. What about approval? They have to come and announce to the public they will make a account to Citibank, JP Morgan, HSBC.
Not the account.
But it's the same.
No, make document what publish
the point that
Government of Ghana Gold for Oil Program framework.
One document too.
Good. Framework no broker channel. BOG executes a gold supply agreement under which it sells gold to a gold broker, which provides forex cover to pay for petroleum product. How would that gold broker
be? It's also transparent, but you know the framework. On your transparent and you framework can maintain now.
Yeah, but how would the gold broker be
selected? That's
the questions they are raising.
Of course, it's a function of Bank of Ghana, one activity.
Asempa FM.
No more instances of Bank of Ghana transactions away. Account away across the world. Do they have to come and consult you to do that? Especially within an environment that KYC, know your customer, a couple bank account in pool. The processes are go through and send a way account. You think the Bank of Ghana doesn't do things consistent with international best practice? But because of the mischief, politics, oh, na broker, na Ghana for young gold. Oh, Obi, na this was some more. Ghana, will go there. Also, why the Usman was saying, I can't Ghana will go there. Ghana, as a country, will go there.
And I say, go every mineral, mineral under our soil.
It's for Ghana.
Yes. On behalf of the people by the president.
Concession agreements outside Amon for more extra.
Oh, so I know you're different.
Aha! But so the point is this.
Yes.
You have natural resources.
Sure.
But you've given it out on concessions to individuals and corporate bodies.
Yes.
That if they do an investment to bring the resource out, one more royalty of between 5 and 10%.
Yes.
You potentially even do a carried interest or a participating interest of some percentage. Now, once you have taxes, say,
sure.
So do you have gold or you have royalty?
For the lands we've given out on concession, we have royalty.
We have gold.
Yes.
In fact, until 2021 June, under the auspices of His Excellency the Vice President, Bank of Ghana was started a war activate this provision under the law, Section 50, aggressively to do a gold purchase program as part of assets of international value acquisition. Now Ghana young gold there were 8 kilograms. 8
since the gold coast
since 1957. 8 single 8. I don't know what kilo to know. I don't know what I say. kg. That's all you had.
Asempa FM 94.
Or not translate to 292 ounces of gold. That's all. But under that program, they grew the volumes. Up till January, I believe, they had increased to about 29,000 ounces. So on the back of that, it's what you are escalating the program so that it took more gold to support the gold for your transaction. Yet, naysayers no ewa. Nkanubi wa accuse President Kufuor wa turn Ghana gold or vote me now for power. Nkanu 2008 yawo. Our was short memory. I'm
94.7.
Fifi kwete mo nsama wake go Ghana for one aso. Okotubo yaso ko do vet no bisa na na accusation e boy the President Kufuor wa turn Ghana vote gold or vote me now. Also no o kakeke. Bosremuka atru. That's the same thing that they are doing today. Ghana will go wrong. Oh, na Ghana young gold now. What they get gold for oil? Now one thing transparent. Now what they shisha kata. You ask it, where's your gold? This is a deliberate policy. But no rolling out. Just so that and Obi, the impact of forex on yen petroleum pricing is in the region of 30%.
In the build-up?
Thank you very much. Impact of forex alone. And see, say the forex, no, you are able to bring it under control, stable. Now, the prices all performed by 20% in par. I mean, are we in no fashion? So what's the issue? Oh, yeah, you know, there's
yeah, the intention might be good, but the how, and I think the questions they are raising now about
how on your ended.
Ma one bread in sumam. Ekosiisen
how on your ended. Boss, they be our import petrol products.
Why? Yeah.
What do you approve our one?
And Eka boss.
Oh, maybe I mean deal with boss first.
Yes.
Boss will import where a regular import. In fact,
no one job approval in fee baby. So you want more there.
Thank you very much. So what has changed? We hear dollar from Bank of Ghana to import their petroleum products. If they don't get it from Bank of Ghana, they go to the banks. If they don't get it from the banks, they go to forex bureaus. If they don't get it from the forex bureaus, they go to black market. Chasing the dollar. Masura no loco. And if Bank of Ghana will introduce this intervention just so they can generate gold to finance petroleum importation, either through a direct swap or to monetize it and pay for it, what has changed?
I'll come to the other questions, but before that, Mamin can messages kakra yensaka, and then I look at the other question. I mean, the point was made again by Alex Mould. This whole policy in the long run would also kill local BDCs who operate in that space, because now 50% of their imports now government take it over and it will kill their business. Only one. Number two, so there, Bost has not got the record of doing profitable sales in that space. And also one other issue that was raised. So why use Bost rather than giving it out to the BDCs to do it? In the next your questions are about yes. No,
Alex Mould, you don't know MP or my Bost BDC licenses are. So what was the issue?
What's the issue then?
But no, my Bost BDC licenses are.
And why then?
And so if so Boss is a BDC.
Sure. I will more import.
Thank you. So what's the issue? Or Pede Boss will remain as a strategic stockholder. I won't participate in petroleum product importation. Why don't I want license? Why? I know you hear free. In any event, Obi, BDCs are all Ghana. I want to import the totality of all the products, whatever Ghana. Do they do 100%?
They almost do, no?
No. They do about 50-60%. Bust and Go Energy.
They bring in the
Thank you. What has changed? In fact, in the Mehu letter from Seaboard, our for allocation for some of their BDCs for the commodity. What has changed? BDCs what to petrol bust all the time. Bust to petrol BDCs all the time. What has changed? Apart from the arrangement that allows Bank of Ghana double to gold in country or Ghana, so that they can have control over how that gold is disposed of to finance importation of petroleum products, no. Just so that Ghana fu when you talk akrano, ono no ye problem on governor.
Lawyer Andre Egyapa Mercer, no, so let me see about the messages a while by, and then we can make progress. We say, Obi, good evening. Please tell those who don't understand the Bank of Ghana trading in gold that BOG can trade in gold through Minerals Commission, Ghana Chamber of Mines, PMMC, and CEOs of private mining companies. Let's all be factual. Lamprekin Rashid Edie Obi, good evening. I want to ask our Deputy Minister of Energy, why would they sit down for the NDC to throw dust into people's eyes before they come out and explain things to us? This gold for oil would serve us good as a country. The lies and propaganda must stop. In Shraba, Anelka, Eddie Way Abba. Good afternoon, Obi. And a big good afternoon to Honorable Andrew Egyapa Mercer. Obi, I must say that Honorable Mercer has proven beyond all reasonable doubt as one of the self-sacrificing, visionary, exemplary, and indulgent MPs in the country. Obi, I've publicly announced my political affiliation as a member of the NDC. However, I think we need to appreciate the fact that we give credit to whom credit is due. And indisputably, Honorable Bobo is doing a yeoman's work, and we are proud of him. As a member of parliament for Sekondi, his developmental projects are there for everyone to see. Talk of community centers, astroturfs, toilet facilities, provision of learning materials to schools, street lighting systems, supporting the needy, construction of libraries, redevelopment of market centers, and the list goes on and on. Honorable, I was Sekondi. Okay, we'll come back to second issue. Also, to it, sometimes I wish he was on the other side because he has the NDC trait in him. His leadership prowess is simply remarkable. I know he will defect someday, inshallah. On train Sunday.
NDC trait.
Also, please, lastly, Obi, I want to humbly use the opportunity to request Honorable Bobo to consider providing an AstroTurf pitch for the people of Kwekuma and in Kontompo. I think they are lagging behind. Also, they are longing to have one. Thank you. Boga Ali Hashim, was Sekondi Takraden on the way. Abba. We'll come back to some of the things he's done in Sekondi. Whereas Obi, PMMC has been buying gold for small-scale gold miners for over 40 years now. Our problem has been to let some foreigners dealing in the purchase of export and export of gold. Meanwhile, the small-scale miners sell gold in cities, so we don't need foreigners in this trade. Edwin, Ewo Takrade, and Odiwe Abba. Edwin, thank you. Duncan Amoa, Ewo Kopek, Ono say, does Bost have a history on engaging in such fuel trading in the past and a so-called open credit basis, which was without any encumbrance or pre-financing? What was the outcome? $600 million loss left behind for you and I to go and pay. Why would we simply involve public funds from the BOG in fuel trading while same government has licensed others to engage in that enterprise? And that's another critical point there. Do we really need boss to step into this at this time of steep economic challenges confronting the country, knowing very well fuel trading can result in either of the following three? You can either make profit, you can break even, or you can lose. We do not think Bost is certain to cream off profits. Okay, is set up to cream off profit from the already suffering Ghanaians by taking resources from Bank of Ghana to engage in this gold for oil expedition. Breaking even makes the expedition the more unnecessary, considering the risks involved with exposing funds from BOG for these transactions. Losses are clearly a thing our economy cannot afford at this point of austerity and economic hardships. Gold for oil is a dangerous expedition that must be looked at carefully, lest we cook another haste and force the losses on the public to pay another day. And we need a very critical. I think you'd have to respond to this, and I continue.
I am Duncan, since
Asempa FM 94.7,
and it seems to me and of course he's been a strong advocate. For example, for the removal of the boss margin, for example. And my minister has always said, indeed, last weekend, Koyan energy sector retreat. His clear indication to Bost was to segregate. And when I got one revenue from the boss margin.
Okay.
Now we indicate exactly what the expenditure that the boss margin is being used.
Yeah.
And if your boss on activities I carried out over the past 2 years at least since I have been at the ministry under the able leadership of Dr. Prempe, is to rehabilitate some of their tanks and depots across the country.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of
pipelines
those. The old ones and the new ones. Yeah.
You know, and so that is it. But I sometimes I get surprised. State-owned enterprises, of course, the fact that they've incurred losses in the past doesn't mean that it wasn't worth setting them up. What it is that you put in place management structures, na systems are, or make sure that them losses now we incur in the past is not repeated. And if you look at Boss today, One financial report consistently making profits in the past 2 years.
Under provincial?
Yes. Document Obi, 2 seconds.
Asempa FM 94.7.
And in fact, Mawari, 2020, one audited account, 2021, one audited account, 2022, one management account. Make profit of 83 million in 2022, 164 in 2021, and 2 million in 2020 from a loss of 159 in 2019, 236 in 2018, 79 in 2017, and 459 in 2016. But for the past 3 years, consistently, let's not throw away the baby with the bathwater. Dama Abrofo Obaka was as a strategic stockholder, the original intent. President Kofi Egyapa Mercer set up Boston. It was good. It was necessary.
94.7.
Over the years, yes, may indicate during their history, the point they were giving BDC license to operate as a regular BDC. Of course, for whatever reason, they made some losses, one leakages within their system, but it's all being fixed. We automate one tanks, can we now put in CCTV cameras, putting in new infrastructure, new equipment and systems to make sure they put up a robust government entity.
Yeah, but one other point Duncan makes in Sunday there. Government has issued licenses to private BDCs to do this job. Why there and the policy be to also kick them out of the market?
Policy be and kick Obia out of the market. In fact, right from the very beginning, when the conversation began on how we ensure the incidents OCC war, some African countries, fuel shortages.
Yeah.
Especially after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, prices no, $130 per barrel plus. Queues in several African countries, even in Europe. UK and they saw queues at the pumps, and so the conversation then began. Then they have to ensure fuel security under the able leadership of Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, or constituted team that began to have the discourse, engaging friendly countries in the Middle East and so that's what evolved into how you then pay for the commodity, so that the Bank of Ghana situation with the dollar and all that doesn't become an issue. Okay, especially the forward pricing regime every other week we are not go through is minimized, not eliminated, because we recognize that the private sector will always be
once will be play role
precisely. But if say a blended of old commodity crano with a new regime that then brings the price down, ultimately Ghana will benefit. Okay, and so to suggest the private sector are being kicked out, no, it's just not the case. Seaboard were part of the deliberations throughout. Committee minister setting up under the chairmanship of my colleague Dr. Amin Anta had Seaboard representation. Test ran the Beno, there were concerns that they raised, obviously to ensure their concerns beyond oil associated with the policy are addressed, and that is being dealt with. Over the weekend at our retreat, Association of Oil Marketing Companies, one
FM 94.7.
No need Dr. Patrick Ofori of Seaboard.
Yeah.
We're all there. We keep an open door policy. We have consistently said, then as a government, new patriotic party government, we believe in the private sector as engine of growth. But when issues of national concern come up, we work with them to resolve whatever issues that they are, so that Ghana and we are working with Seaboard issues. The way minister has said to them that, look, continually let's engage so that they are fine-tuned process, so you guys can still remain in business. So the activity and role I will play in the economy cannot be overemphasized. And so it's important that we get these matters straight. say conversation in there, take away bust entirely from the space. Let's have it. But so long as they are there, are a state-owned entity, no. If government is rolling out a program, magana for benefit to complement the private sector, I think that we don't have to condemn it.
This gold for oil policy, no. Whose idea is it? Why is the idea way by? Is it from Bank of Ghana, governor they buy a bust CEO na they buy energy ministry? Who is it? who came out with the idea?
It's a government policy.
Or a government policy?
Yes.
Okay. And there is no single brain behind it.
Of course. Abani won't pay for. Abani paying for.
Oh, won't pay for.
And
so we are ban paying.
Oh, Jamba won't pay for. But of course, I mean the conversation had a strong input of His Excellency the Vice President and his office, and of course the Minister responsible for energy.
Energy.
Yes.
Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh.
No size.
but from one
time I'm deputy minister.
Yes.
And I had the stories about some ministers and their relationship
with one
deputies,
yes.
I think the special minister made from heaven was in the new relationship with all of us, the deputies. You know, it's very exceptional.
Okay.
For the opportunity to make an input into the work of the ministry, and
you've enjoyed working with him,
without a doubt at all. He's very excellent human being, you know, by all accounts. Now, Miss Nana hard work in a good simple. You can't sit on your feet, brother.
And there is this other question. Not more can them NPA one framework now we're publishing. You know, when the product need to bust, bust would also give it out to the OMCs, as it were, or the BDCs, to the OMCs direct, right?
So
okay, let me read it so we get it clear from the document now. Well, I think I read that I want what the BEMA so bust would give it out to the OMCs. Okay, let me get it and then so from bust. Okay, bust and NPA. The issue of pricing. So what's a bust NPA would come in with the issue of the pricing, and then the price at which bust will sell the products to the BIDEX in the BIDECS will be approved by the NPA. The price at which BDCs, okay, and the BDCs will then sell to the OMCs. Good. It is a bust the product name BDCs now. Me who the time or the BDCs or this caneba. What your bust cow? One on be 60 days. Oh.
No. A cash basis.
No, sure.
Man, I'm catch all.
I say payment structure. Bust will be required to pay for the product supplied to rate under the gold for oil into an escrow account at BOG within 60 days of receipt of product from the international oil traders. You get it? But the BDCs will be required to pay for product procured from bust within 15 days.
Yes.
Okay, 15 days of loading. Payment for the product will either be on cash basis or with a 15-day letter of credit from a reputable commercial bank.
So if you have a 15-day LCI, it's essentially what you get from them. It's a short payment from the bank within the 15-day period.
Now, 15-day period on Warododoa?
Well, I believe that within the regulatory environment, we weigh all the options and to ensure there are no lapses, you know, just so that you can have a handle on how much you pay for the commodity the next time.
Yes.
You understand? And see, I think that under the current regime, most of the BDs will operate the credit.
Credit 90
days. And so giving them 15 days with the support of their banks, I think is a reasonable time.
Yeah, but I'm not sure there. The 15 days would be okay if the Bank of Ghana can assure us the forex situation will be stable because then from the time they get the oil, sell, and the time they have to pay.
You see,
it's a fluctuation.
It's really on the Bank of Ghana end, no, it's really a question of global changes in the commodity price.
Yeah.
Because at all times they are buying
finished products.
Yes.
They are
FM
paying 94.7
or swapping.
Yeah.
Because that number grant interview be now half of what I said now was splashing all over the place. Meanwhile, no framework, no HMI, it's clear.
Yeah.
That there are two options, and for good reason. Ozande, you don't want to limit yourself to only companies that have other trading wings that then understand gold.
Yeah.
Okay, or or do understand only oil. And so then if the issue be balance with demand and supply, then what happens? And so it's important for you to create an avenue where those who don't understand anything except oil can also participate and then find a broker or work through the Bank of Ghana system to get paid. So that's what it is. But to assure you, and I want to say now, no, say program ni na do not ote na no the Ghanaian consumer no yet the ultimate beneficiary.
Consignment awaba so far no, we reflect on how much we pay at the pumper.
Yes, but like I said, on your event, the widespread of companies are what supply more on OMCs are, BDCs are what what offloading more.
Yes,
they were scattered, and see you really are not getting the impact. And so, like I told you, no framework, no first consignment was to ensure that there was some test to see where the issues were, and a list of OMCs are when your commodity in BD.
Okay.
And so what the NPA has then decided, apart from goil, some significant reduction by about some 70 pesos. Going forward, no, they're going to do OMCs that have wider coverage
in terms of one station across the country,
so that you can have a wider coverage with respect to the penetration of product to see significant reduction in the prices. Obviously, whatever it is, gold for oil program not to cover the totality of all OMCs and BDCs in Ghana. That's where they then play in the 50% market, but same terms or comparative terms that then allows them to also bring their prices under control. And see, the expectation in the program no ye juma dama no otina. All things being equal, say you ramp up to the levels I anticipate by March, which is where the intent is to get to 50%.
50% now.
They continue and maintain momentum under the programmer. Then obviously in the medium to long term, you'll see a significant reflection. Of course, I must emphasize that all things being equal, and Obi, say petrol prices will go to $130 per barrel, be a manda. Then you would see commensurate reflection at the pumps. But the stability,
then we would actually reap the benefit from this policy.
Precisely. Whichever way.
Yeah.
So long as the FX component, indicated to you there.
Or about 30% in the build up, no?
Would at all times reflect on the pricing, regardless of how the commodity price itself goes either up or down. You would see clearly that intervention of policy in a very significant way to ease the
Asempa FM 94.
The other thing would be now this policy. Okay, two more questions. Number one, there in the so when we deal with the gold bit, now ton gold, no, we either decide to use the butter route or the broker route. Yeah, the oil never bar. Which companies will bring in the oil?
Same companies that supply international oil traders or supply petroleum products across the world. Yeah, no one.
I wanna.
They say.
Is there no particular one?
They say.
Mawabe, one and other bay.
Nkrofo was signing a contract.
Yes.
Who want to participate in the program?
Sure.
Are signing, are applying, and Bost is dealing with them, consistent with one trading activity. That's all.
That decision is made by Bost.
Yes.
Who brings in the
import commodity? No. Well, one suppliers. Anna. So I'll be honest, I'm not issue no matter how you look at it. Novelty.
Asempa FM.
In terms of petroleum product swap, now using gold to monetize and pay. But if you look in the literature, some countries have done it in the past, including United Kingdom, the US, and Iran, Saudi Arabia. At some point in their history, had to do a swap for even military equipment. Use their gold, their oil to swap for military equipment. Both of them had a value at which they exchanged. One of the commentators seeking to bastardize the program there, and one cuts in a bro and so kind of thing, as if to say that the two commodities don't have a value at which you can price and exchange at any point in time when you are participating in the presidency. Really, I've heard people suggest the gold is a stronger reserve, and so why don't you keep the gold and find dollars? Then I ask myself, that the dollar, where are you going to find the dollar from? you buy the gold and keep it and source dollars from where? And they are unable to give you an answer, as if to say that all of a sudden a gold purchase program which the Bank of Ghana is still running,
so we would have the gold reserve.
Of course, that's a deliberate policy.
Because the argument has been made, the British pound is that powerful because of what backs it.
Precisely.
The gold reserve they have in
and
the UK.
That's ongoing. On America, they had to ramp up that exercise so that they can aggregate
from 8 kg to some.
Precisely.
Okay.
To support this aspect of the role that Bank of Ghana plays as a financial intermediary for providing forex to support the import program.
Now,
nothing has changed.
Okay, Bost has a BDC license. Bost would play a key role in this policy. Wabe import now our ton. Is it time for us to have a conversation around striking out the Bost margin from the build-up? Because now what would be the justification?
Bost margin, what they then?
They can make that money from business away.
No, of course.
Now they are controlling almost 50% of imports.
It's an undistinguished tuna. You'll be making a huge problem.
Okay.
Of course. Well, pipelines are your open access.
Sure.
Asempa FM.
How do they make the investments in the pipeline?
From the Bost margin. I don't know what they
precisely. And if you say take away the Bost margin, how do they make the investment in the pipelines? How do they build storage tanks across the country? How are they supposed to fund the refurbishment of those tanks? And of course, the expectation is there, they will still keep some strategic stocks for national emergencies. Okay, and so if you say that take away the Bost margin, I'm saying yes, let's have a debate. But does it then mean that Bost will need the BR for that resource going from the state to provide to fund the intent for which it was set up, Anna? And let's have a conversation. Endorse is always open. Criticism can be positive, yes, which is always welcome. But just propaganda utterances only the fail properly. But I welcome, and I've had conversations with advocates for the removal of the Bost margin, and I'm not sure that I'm convinced that it is time for us to take it off.
Very well. Ekosiisen Senpai FM. I think for on gold for oil, I believe I've exhausted all my questions for now. We would move on and look at other issues. Now, you're shedding common barrier. But this one says, "Hi Obi, I don't seem to understand Duncan Amwe's point. But for the oil for gold intervention, the BDC should be pegging the CD to the US dollar at 20 plus cedis if GOG had not stepped in with this policy. So it's all about their interest, but not that of Ghana. So they should stop throwing dust into the eyes of the public. I pray the price of fuel is reduced drastically at the pump in the coming weeks." Angelo, anyway, Abba Angelo, thank you. There's one here which says, Alex Kofi Mensa mold is launching his running mid-bid and nothing serious. The NDC is against anything that will transform the country. Gold for oil has come to stay. Even a layman understands this policy and that it will lessen the pressure on the city. And because NDC is hungry for power, they will do everything and anything to discredit this policy. Again, this is the most suitable way the Ghanaian currency can be saved. And amongst other parts, stop the inflation. We've bought gold in cities. Why buy oil with dollar? Samuel Brian Boabeng Awoshi. We say, Obi, clearly, Andrew Egyapa Mercer has demystified the propaganda about this gold for oil policy. The funniest aspect from the NDC is that this project is a Japa deal redesigned. But I'm not surprised because they are not that innovative. Rather, all they know is to borrow and build, which every government does. Kwejo edu pako. Achim eswom ediwe aba. Obi, fantastic delivery from Honorable Andrew Egyapa Mercer in debunking the propaganda about this gold for oil policy, which will bring our economy back never again for the NDC. Regards to Mr. Pani Techimentia, Tano South, and Stephen and team, NPP National Chairman, OPK, Ewo Gorso. Okay. We say, good day, Obi. Obi, Miribisawa Asem Yimanoe, in Bobo's voice, in Tadi Fante. We've really missed Bobo on Ekosiisen so much. Greetings to Valentino Nino Inote, the incoming MP for Korle Klote constituency. Kwesi Barcelona, and now know the way upper. Obi, I'm tactically listening to you live in Kaswa Republic. Tell Honorable Mercer that he's too much. Amisko Spelele, Ewa Kaswa. Obi, do you know that ever since the 1992 Constitution was enacted, and the NDC has consistently been changing candidates for the secondary seat as if they are changing diapers, they don't know that the secondary Takrady seat is, or the seat in secondary Takrady are the bona fide properties of the NPP, and any NDC candidate contesting those seats may be engaging in a fruitless expedition. Kabiesi secondary. Good afternoon, Obi. In fact, listening to Egyapa Mercer has brought clarity in terms of the issues raised by Alex Mould. But Obi, why do we have this policy which has deprived the country of having gold reserves? Why? Richmond, Ediway, if we Standard Chartered Bank, Ede Apray. And somebody sent me a tall list of projects Egyapa Mercer Ewo constituency. Hey. Okay, this is Ibu Secondary. Ibu constituency communications officer. It was secondary constituency. And it will deal with secondary constituency in a moment. The last time you did come on, Honorable, there was mention of TOR and the fact that they will resume operations very soon. Where was it then? And now they are kakra.
Oh yeah, kakra. Osande.
Oh, then
I think that either Mankasano and I because I've listened to the audio.
Okay.
A gentleman, your energy newsy
At Sempa FM
sent me some
94.7
and I mean disagree with him. Then he sent me the video recording on Joy. One morning show be
okay.
Akapo, right?
Akapo, yes. That's AM show on TV.
Yes,
Join
yes.
TV.
No, quite there. Boss, TOR. One management we indicated the proposal be we we seek no objection from ministry.
Yes.
Our transaction advice on investors original. They were hoping to finish by end of February.
Okay.
Now, Mer Kasa on AM show that morning, the impression I'm conveying there, boss will start operating by
end of February.
But obviously, January, when we granted them interview in February, even if so we one negotiation grandpa at the time conversation now.
94.7
and Sana we put the plant back in shape. Obastado Yejuma. And it could not have been the intention and more convenient to start operations by end of February because even the time frame Nampo does not even allow it. But I concede that that is what came out during the interview that I granted. But no there they indicated to ministry the one conversation worrying private investors worrying.
Yes.
I'm sure that is in the trample in the past. DC Vitor proposal and they were hoping to complete that conversation by end of February. Then, of course, was signed one documentation in area. That's when you would expect them to put the plant in shape and Sana. Why then start to produce? But we are all hopeful
that this year something will happen. This year
we would see some revival of activity at Boss. That's the mandate and the objective. Minister this the Conbiado or the maybe be a boss or back on space and see support be or they provide.
But that would mean that would be the first time Tor would be working under the NPP since 2017.
Oh, I don't think so. I believe the Dr. Honorable
Ekosiisen or Juma
Kakra and planting no kwacho.
Asempa FM 94.7.
Konkon embraces CI. My chairman I send the message that brought no doors to the zero. Me try there. Me pick a fancy one. Me hit the bar. Why them there fancy on time, papa? You see, chairman fetch up. But I wish him the Jumeza Woods Biano end of February was one report, Baba. Near where they are, so we now or there you go through the processes of approval, of course. A banner asset in the management and board don't continue to won't take decision
okay.
And one of leg work we now we do be but submit to ministry. Now you go through the motions to take approval from the appropriate quarters, I believe cabinet.
Yeah.
And if even has to go to parliament, I don't know. But we have to go through that motions before we tomorrow then start the war. You are regime the
briefly, let me pick your thought on this because we have to be wrapping up by 5 p.m. What do you make of the NDC's letter what come out minority caucus in parliament to disapprove president nominees in our war converting this week?
I ask and I mean, I want them who want rather what's not vetting them.
Why?
When I me feel the disapprove no or rather can participate can be some questions. Now, will prove oneself
94.7.
The positions are why a vacant to Abanum. His Excellency the President one nominated and for one can film. So what converting now will answer questions near satisfactory. Magana fui na won the Osimesi Osen of Ata the Bima Omampain see Onkononke Jumano from Boa na yemman na can call Munzu Jumano one approval now one year.
Yeah, that's the direct.
There. So why did they participate in the process in the first place? Because Sako, it can be some questions. No, be cool way you know. Watch it and some nah. Then you disable yourself from saying that even though in some idea debate now not to assume, but ma approve. And also Ocharan Nantisa one call when can be sent some. Na say chamber no so wamba wamba participate na so that they disassociate themselves from the entire process. I'm going to one I say. Number one, I mean, who they had
subsequent to the directive from the party, no.
Where should
the minority caucus itself issued a statement yesterday. What's it? We in the minority wish to make it clear that we remain committed to ensuring greater scrutiny and will spare no effort to protect the public purse. In line with this, we are taking part in the vetting process so that at the very minimum we can scrutinize the president's decision in bringing up those nominees. However, the minority will not subscribe to a consensus vote at the level of the appointment committee. This will ensure that the matter is brought before the full house for a vote to be taken in secret.
Okay, yeah, but
Asempa FM.
Because I'm in task
94.7.
I am confused.
Now, I clear to you as you see there. Obi pa, sometimes I want more power.
I am confused.
Now, I am confused. Or then if you are clear, help me. Because I'm in Tassi. That Moko could be some questions, critical questions. No matter how well I perform Biano, Muntuaba, Mufonko Chamber, Namoko Bon football. That's what they are saying.
Asempa FM.
And we catch you on them Padis.
94.7.
Share Obi. Yet to Chroma how. Now, December 2021, Finance Minister of the Budget of the Parliament.
Yes.
Okay, Kakankane. Now, I say 2022 abandon programs. Hinani. May expect the menya sike fee all these sources. Now, me pede may expending war programs do. Education, wages, and salaries compensation. Now, Parliament's okay, Majatum. Right? So, Majatum. The Resiska free, Damo sources in na expending Damo sources in In fact, Momo Aquenya crowd there, consolidated fund them no konaki, the miski. Na spend. But Mbrana Musbamo who can make to make a scan eco raise scan be no on the more approve. Obi against the law that Parliament passed, the Public Financial Management Act, Section 22. As a Parliament shall, by 31st December, do three things. 1, approve the budget. 2, pass the appropriations. 3, pass every other revenue measure that will go to implement the budget. That's the law. Is that what happened? Parliament approved the budget. Parliament also approve appropriations bill or pass appropriations act.
Yes.
Yen pass revenue measures that was ya hine ha. Yen tende yeti ochina. Nchano so sondo na yetsa hono ye bon ye troyo. Check the data. The downgrade in January by the ratings agencies. One of the reasons our society need the uncertain revenue to pay for obligations that arise. February, now Russia will invade Ukraine. Prices of goods and services escalated across the world. Oil prices in excess of $130 per barrel.
Asempa FM 94.
By March, and the never approve levy finally, no. The harm to our economy had been caused. Yet these are the people who turn around and accuse government of doing what? These people. And e-levy did not perform because of all the bastardization and the exemptions that government had to put in place. No Sondo, check the number of times that Ghana was downgraded by ratings agencies in 2022. Check. And for compare previous years.
Asempa FM 94.
Because all they wanted me go to IMF. So you to me a political equalization. That's all. Answer my catcher when nation wreckers.
No, that might not be a fair.
I'm not saying me first time and I feel Busana. Manka the master me be studio ana. Maybe some question now. You have joined the Short Memory Association of Ghana, or maybe you are being deliberate.
Why would I?
Because no, but so why we scared to speak truth to the issues?
No, if they criticize government, it doesn't make them.
I'm not talking of don't criticize government. Mammo, a set of actions that they took. So why do they come back in March to approve the e-levy? Why? Because at the time, in December,
FM
each one of them, especially the members of the finance committee, and the Atofosen, and minority leader, they knew the implications, but they didn't care. They knew the implications, and I feel that when you there, if you don't pass the revenue measures, if you don't abide by the Public Financial Management Act, the ratings agencies are watching how we observe where economy will react. You think they didn't know? But they want power at all cost. Consequences to Ghanaians is of no moment.
FM 94.7.
I want them to prove me wrong. Same thing. It's what they did with the Egyapa transaction. I'll bring it up any day. Because why? Parliament they pass the Minerals Income Investment Fund Act. And they pass it. I can get provisions of the act. Maybe it's a question. I can get.
May you are not missing.
Listeners want to see. How different is what the provisions of the law from what government sought to do? Show me one provision that was breached in the law. But after 5 months, we are got to Aba. Abani ko raise $500 million or the bay in Puntujuma. Magana for we are sharing what Atwa Baba on case in the on case of China. Ghanaians' development can wait. Let's do our politics. That's exactly what happened.
Asempa FM.
So you see,
94.7.
Obi. I'm a Debbie Amoto to throw. The your politics able to me able to me politics. In fact, there are plenty subject matter areas able to me politics. But Subban, the Ghanaian new well-being programs, policies, issues are all impact our immediate, short, medium, long-term effect on the people. Or they had done twice. But well, the other day, your party issued a statement to your members of parliament to
I want so censure no won't stay off.
Participate, not participate
in the censure motion. And what's different with that one day no?
I
want why I want to worry. Let's move on to other issues.
But does it help? Obi,
okay.
Does it help? In any event, what were they seeking to do with the essential motion?
94.
What was
I'm glasses.
Finance Minister
for what? For what?
into how the calls the finance minister in Jan Chen and support.
Who listen be said one venture no she dem is no ma one family.
No me who list no. Now within him. You didn't support it.
Why should I?
But,
I'm not begrudging anybody who felt.
Yeah, but your colleagues said there were constituency. Constituency there. When you papa na will lose. How the NTB was second year. And TB was second day.
Of course. But yes, survey where the sentiment of the entirety of our constituency. I mean, I didn't. So I can't say to that. Maybe some people did.
Okay.
And I'm not about to condemn anybody. They are entitled to their
opinion, yes.
But speaking for myself, and yes, majority leader indicated that the caucus was unanimous.
Yeah.
And I've said that unanimity does not mean that everybody.
Everybody, sure.
Yes.
Sure.
And Egyapa Mercer, no.
Okay.
Because I didn't see why. Unless, of course, you expect me to discount 2017, the economic growth that the Kenoforiata-led finance ministry churned out in our country.
Yeah, but that's something the IMF predicted in 2016. It would happen. We have found two additional oil fields.
So why is the same IMF today saying that they are going to support Ghana because Ghana was doing so well
until COVID
and Russia? The same IMF that you cite. So I'm saying to you that unless you want me to discount 2017, 2018 and 2019, if you want me to discount it, then we can have a conversation. But if it all occurred under Kenoforiata, then I have to look at the entirety of the issues and make a determination whether indeed and in fact COVID and Russia-Ukraine did not play an impact in the performance of our economy today. We have to have that debate. And see, Obi, issues today.
Mate, or Dawson, I just checked your DP on WhatsApp. Now, me who picture with the inscription "I hope Dr. Bawumia 2024" with a very beautiful picture of the Vice President. A supporter now to be flag bearer of your party.
Obi, 100%.
Dr. Bawumia.
100. Motuma exceed 100.
Ebotum.
Motuma call to obey that. Because I'm limited, I work with him.
500%.
No, 500.
500.
500.
A support to Dr. Bawumia.
500%.
That's why you have him as your DP.
In fact, major bereavement to be ground although your boy at your primary. So look, see, our internal Iguanawato.
Sure.
Honorable Alan Chairman, Mama brother Joe Gatti, Honorable Kofi Egyapa, my
94.7.
Yeah. Kofi Egyapa, Bachijako, all of them are eminently qualified. Bia Juma in his own right for the New Patriotic Party. Now, Iguaro talk, another Igua is about to talk. So, His Excellency, Nana Danka Kufuado, constitutional man who can double contest BM. And see, every one of them has the right to put himself up to contest. I mean, believe in Arobashishe and some kaka, was on the Yakashishe and one roba, Yabaka some against each other. No,
Asempa FM 94.7
primaries. But if I look at the entirety of the eminent personalities now, I think that His Excellency the Vice President stands tall. No matter how you look at it, his competencies, his track record, his personality, how he relates with people, digitalization agenda that is driving to transform the face of our economy to meet the 21st century needs of Ghana and beyond. And above all, the fact that he represents a minority bloc in our country. For me, the New Patriotic Party as an inclusive party ought to demonstrate that and select him to lead our party into the coming election 2024. Of course, if he offers himself. But there's every indication that the vice president, when the time comes for him to contest in the primaries, would contest, and he has my absolute support in that regard.
And you do everything within your power to make sure he's elected flag bearer.
Oh, you want to Papa, will do the work. Like I said, I have relationships with all of them, all the contestants. I respect enormously all of them. But I think that if you look at the data and everything, PPR.
You've worked with Dr. Matthew Opoko Prempeh. Do you think he would be a fine vice president for your party?
Obi, without a doubt at all. In fact, it is my prayer that Nyame Adom na Dr. Baumia becomes our flag bearer. His running mate would be Dr. Matthew Opoko Prempeh.
That's your prayer and your wish.
That is my prayer.
Would that be a good ticket for Ghana?
Dr. Matthew Opoko Prempeh.
Yeah, I know him.
You know he's a machine. Aware. Maybe so aware.
May I aware?
Okay. And we need a machine to deliver. His depth of knowledge. Over the weekend, retreat now. Opinion kura obey. Closing remarks. Everybody who's worked closely with him, I'm sure, would attest to his preparedness, his depth of knowledge, his hard work, adjectives even fill me. I don't have any doubt at all he will be a good choice
as running mate for your party.
And it will help our party in sailing through, albeit all the challenges that we are facing now, which I'm hopeful that you conclude IMF conversation successfully. NPP has what it takes to bring this economy back on track. At the very least, say the light is still on. The light in the midst of all the adversity that we are facing as a nation, the light is still on.
Well, I wish Sanki Benya Miraka second, but we'll bring you back in studio before your primaries. Studio
had a jar mafia. Mafia do asare na. Sami Jim Fimo and Sam George and
Eric J.
or John Roberts na. My baby face one squarely, papa. I'm a brother Pinos of Bujumano correct. Now more colleague party communicators in keep the fire burning. We don't have to give them space to spill their mischief. And at appropriate time we will come and join them to execute the task.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, second day phone. Ekosiisen